The Owen James Report is brought to you by
Burita.
On your journey towards prosperity, you don't have to go it alone. The Burita Income Portfolio gives you the opportunity to pool resources for maximum returns with regular interest payments to make your journey worthwhile. Contact Burita today and achieve prosperity the Burita way.
On your journey towards prosperity, you don't have to go it alone. The Burita FX Bond Portfolio gives you the power of pooled funds and the additional stability of investing in a US dollar denominated portfolio. Contact Burita today. Burita, making money work for you.
A very good evening. I'm Garfield Burford of the Owen James Report, sitting in this evening for Owen James. We begin with news that the rhetoric is being ratcheted up this evening as the Jamaica Manufacturers Association, the JMA, continues to lash economist Dr. Damien King over his recent comments in a newspaper column. Now, Dr. King had argued that the JMA has been clamoring for exemptions in taxes, duties and interest, but this is at the expense of other sections of the economy. Now, 24 hours later, there was a sharp retort from the JMA expressing disappointment with Dr. King's comments, insisting that the relief that the manufacturers get is not unique, but is given regionally and internationally. Today, the squabble has intensified, with former JMA President Omar Azan suggesting that Dr. King does not seem to understand the realities on the ground.
Whatever Dr. King is saying is totally false, and to be very honest with you, Dr. King needs to get some internship of an actual working situation within a manufacturing plant to be able to understand what's going on. Yes, he sits on the board of a very large manufacturing facility, and I'm very surprised that a gentleman of his caliber would be speaking so much against the Jamaica Manufacturers Association and the manufacturing sector in the way he has done so. Because the JMA, if it wasn't for our lobbying efforts, Red Stripe would probably not be open today, and many other factories would not be open.
However, Dr. King argues that the JMA has not contradicted what he said in his article on Sunday. Meanwhile, on a related matter, Omar Azan says there has been an improvement in access to US dollars for manufacturers, but the devaluation of the currency and weak aggregate demand continue to create severe challenges for those in the manufacturing sector. A team from the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, is expected in the island tomorrow to conduct the fifth review of Jamaica's performance under the four-year Extended Fund Facility, EFF. The IMF mission, led by Jan Kees Martin, is scheduled to meet with Finance Minister Dr. Peter Phillips and senior ministry officials in the Finance Ministry tomorrow. Now, the team will be poring over the books to determine whether Jamaica has met all the quantitative and structural benchmarks under the program for the April to June quarter. Now, Finance Minister Dr. Peter Phillips has already indicated to Parliament that Jamaica has, that based on the government's assessment, all the criteria for the June quarter were met, and he expected a positive outcome from the assessment by the IMF. Now, the visit of the IMF mission comes after Managing Director Christine Lagarde visited Jamaica and heaped praises on the administration for its execution of the tough reform program so far. Now, it also comes on the heels of the country's successful return to the international capital markets when Jamaica raised $800 million. The Jamaican dollar held firm against the US dollar today, strengthening against the Canadian but weakened slightly against the British pound. At the close of trading, it took an average of $112.82 to purchase the US, the same rate as yesterday. Now, the dollar strengthened by 13 cents against the Canadian dollar, however, with the average selling rate today of $102.99. However, the Jamaican dollar weakened against the pound. It took $188.95 to purchase the pound, 1 cent more than it took yesterday. To equities now, and on a day when trading volumes for Sagicor Group stocks dominated market activity, the JSE index declined by over 700 points. Now, this was the result from trading in some 17 stocks, of which only 3 advanced while 10 declined. The advancers on the day were Carreras, JMMB's 7.25% shares, and NCB. Meanwhile, the losing end was dominated by Caribbean Cement Company, Grace Kennedy, Jamaica Brawlers, and JMMB. That's the Owen James Report. I'm Garfield Burford. Good evening.
The Owen James Report was brought to you by
Burita, making money work for you.